And at some point when you regained consciousness, you took the knife out of your pocket, right?
Yeah.
Now, when the knife was in your pocket, it was closed, right? So you had to take the knife out of your pocket, right? Your right pocket.
Yeah.
You had to open the knife, right?
My other hand was covering my head.
Showing you States 95. Picture of the, is a replica of the knife that you had that night, correct?
I never looked at it.
You never looked at it? But it was a knife that opened in this manner, correct? You had to open the knife?
I don't even remember opening it.
You don't remember opening it. Well, was the knife opened in your right pocket when it was in your pocket?
I don't think so, no.
No. So if this was the knife, or if this is a copy of what the knife looked like, it would have been closed in your pocket, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So when you're on the ground, you stick your right hand in your pocket, you take the knife out of your pocket, correct?
Yeah.
And then you proceed to open the knife, right?
No, I don't remember. My other hand, I remember, was the whole time holding my head.
So you opened that knife with one hand?
Yes.
You recall doing that?
No. I don't remember opening the knife.
And when you take the knife out, you have it in your hand, your right hand, right?
Yes.
And you have it in your hand like this, in your fist.
Yes.
And the blade is up this way,
Yes.
right? And you say on direct examination you were flailing your arms. Do you remember saying that? And you indicated that you were swinging the knife, right?
Yeah.
Show you States 56. This is Ryan Hines. You remember Ryan Hines from that night?
Yeah.
This is the kid that you say you pushed at Lazy Brook and then did not slam in the head with your helmet. Remember that?
Yes.
He's got a lot of facial injuries. Would you agree?
No.
No? States 83. Would you agree, Mr. Valle, that Mr. Hines has contusions on his head, correct?
I see the one on the top of his head.
You don't see the ones on the side of his head? You don't see that his nose is broken here?
That, on the side, it just looks like acne.
States 84. You see the contusion on his head?
Yes.
That wasn't caused by your helmet? Did you do that at 43 Laurel Glen?
No.
So somebody else must have done that.
Yeah, I guess.
You have the knife in your hand, you have it in the fist, right? States 87. And you stab Ryan Hines in his chest and puncture his lung, correct?
Yes.
Like this, right?
I wasn't aiming or anything.
And you stab him in the side. States 89, right? That's not a swipe, would you agree? That's a stab wound, right?
I was flailing my arm around.
That was a stab wound, right?
I was flailing my arm around.
So you're indicating that this is a swipe?
Objection, Your Honor. I think that mischaracterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
States 91. You were flailing your arms. He stabbed it again in the left side, correct?
Yeah.
So he stabbed 3 times, right?
Yes.
States 54, Faison Teal. You remember seeing him there that night, right?
I think so.
And you stabbed him, State 70, once in the upper extremity, in his left arm, right?
Yes.
While you were flailing your arms.
Yes.
That's about an inch or so, right? And at some point, they let you go, right?
Oh.
And when they let you go, at that point, Tommy Connery comes over, right? Because Ryan Hines is now out of it. because you just stabbed him 3 times, right?
They never let go of
And
anybody.
Tommy Connery comes over. Remember Tommy Connery? States 55? That's Tommy Connery, right?
Yeah.
And you're down on the ground, right? You're bent over, right? No, you're not bent over.
I was on the ground.
You're on the ground. And you go after Tommy Connery, States 77, and you stab him 4 times in his leg, correct?
I didn't go after anybody.
And at some point in time, you're chased out into the street, right?
Yeah.
And you fall down. You said, according to your direct testimony, is you fall and you skin your hands on the ground.
That was after.
That was after? That was the second time, not the first time. But at some point in time, you go out into the street, right? And we see that in the video, correct?
I got thrown like towards the car.
Right. And you run back to the car, right?
Yes.
Then you run back to the car and you go to get in the car, right?
I.
No one chased you to the car, correct?
Yes, they did.
They did. Okay, let's play. Play this slow.
Is this Exhibit 60?
This is Exhibit 60. I need Stop it. Who's this person right here running back to the car? Who's chasing them?
If you back it up a little bit, you see all those people, right?
No, they stopped. Back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Right here, right? These kids right here?
Yeah.
They're chasing you? They stopped. Right?
I didn't look backwards.
But they stopped, right? The video shows that they're stopped here at this point, right? They're not chasing you up to the car, right?
The camera turns.
Play it again. Just keep playing. That's you, right?
Yes.
And you're at the car by yourself? Stop it. Do you see any kids coming now from your left side if they're chasing you?
I didn't look that way.
But in the video, they're not chasing you, right?
I didn't look that way.
My question to you is, in the video, they're not chasing you to the car, right?
No?
No. They play it. Stop. Now, at this point, the kids are retreating back onto the property, right?
I was just looking for Tyler.
So the answer to my question is you didn't see where the kids were retreating back to that, right?
I just looked for Tyler.
But they didn't come after you at the car, right?
I just looked for Tyler. I don't know.
I would move to strike as non-responsive.
Court will strike the witness's last response.
You indicated on direct examination that you were thrown into the car. You remember testifying to that?
I was pushed towards the car.
But the video doesn't show you being thrown into the car, does it?
I guess not.
Now, at some point in time, you say you saw Tyler back on the lawn, right?
Yeah.
You still had the knife on you at that point, right? The knife was still out in your hand, right? And you come back into the fight, right?
Yeah.
Now, Tyler's being pushed into the street at this point, right?
Yes.
And you would agree with me that there are no Shelton kids to the right of you, right? There's a car. We can see a car right there, right?
There's kids like right
There's
in
kids in front of you,
to the right. Yes.
but there's no kids right to the right of you. There's a car. We can see the car. If there were, we wouldn't be able to see the car, right?
That's the street.
Right. There's nobody to the right of you, right? There's a kid in front of you.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of kids right there.
Right. There's a whole bunch of kids over here we can't see, but there's nobody to the right of you, right?
There's a kid right next to him.
There's a kid here. But I'm saying, is this you right here?
Yes,
Right. To the right of you, do you see a kid or a car?
that's the street.
That's the street, and there's a car there, right?
Yeah,
So there's nobody to the right of you, right? There's a car.
there's nobody in the street.
And there's nobody to the left of you other than Tyler De Silva, right?
Yeah,
So when you're going back in, there's just a wall like this, right?
it's like this.
Right. But you're not surrounded at that point, right?
At that point, no.
No. But you go back in, and Tyler's already pushed out into the street, right?
The video, I'm on my way back as he's.
But Tyler is no longer engaged in the fight, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember that. So you just blacked out and ran right back into the fold. That's your testimony today?
Being on the yard, and it was just like a shoe horse of people.
A shoe horse, but not a circle. You were not encircled, right?
Like, was there anybody behind me?
Right. There's nobody behind you.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Right. So you could have, if you chose to, which you did not, you could have left. You could have retreated, right?
No.
So you could not have left because there were people around you?
Yes,
So you just said that there was a semicircle of people on the yard. Now you're saying that you were surrounded.
it was like this.
So semicircle, right?
Yeah.
Not a circle. A circle goes like this, right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to turn my back to that many people.
You weren't going to. I'd move to strike as non-responsive, Your Honor.
I'm gonna allow the last instance to continue.
You indicated when you made it back to the car, you were still terrified, right?
Yeah.
You were still scared. You came back in anyway, right? With the knife. Right? And you ran over to the edge of the grass, right? And you passed Tyler, right?
Yes.
He passed you on your left, correct?
Yes.
You indicated that you saw Matt Lakovich,
Yes.
but you also indicated on direct you couldn't see who hit you. You said you were hit.
Yes.
You remember saying that? You couldn't see who hit you?
I remember getting hit.
But you don't know who hit you.
I don't think so, no.
Do you recall subsequent during your direct examination, you said, Matt Lakovich hit me?
I said it could have been him.
Could have been, but you don't know who hit you. And when you were running back into the fight, you had the knife out, right?
Yes.
And people that were in front of you were defending themselves from you, weren't they?
No, they kept coming at me.
They kept coming at you while you had a knife out, approaching them.
I was standing still right there.
You heard Charlie Connery yell, "He's got a knife, he's got a knife," right?
And I just heard screaming. I couldn't.
At the time, you don't recall hearing that during the incident, right? But on the video, you hear him yell, "He's got a knife, he's got a knife," right? And you're saying that people engaged you while you had a knife at this point in time?
Nobody backed up.
Nobody backed up, but nobody attacked you.
They were stepping forward, and somebody ended up hitting me.
And you couldn't see who hit you.
No.
And you couldn't see if anybody had a weapon on them at that point, right? And at some point, you indicate that you turned around, well, let's run. At some point in time, you turned, right, to run back to the car, right?
Yeah.
But when you're turning to run back to the car, you see Jimmy McGrath and you stab him in the chest, correct?
No. I would never do
Have you
it.
seen the autopsy photos, sir?
Yes.
Did you see where his injuries happened?
Yes.
In his upper left chest?
Yes.
Are you saying you did not stab Jimmy McGrath in the heart?
I didn't land.
Move to strike as non-responsive.
Portal strike, everything after. I'm not sure we got a response, so I will strike the response.
Isn't it true? You just testified that I didn't want to turn my back on these people, right?
Yes.
But you turned your back on these people when you were trying to get out of there, right?
I was facing backwards.
So you were facing backwards. So you're facing the group, and are you backing up like this?
No, I was standing there.
Right.
And
You're not backing up, right?
I got hit.
Right. You're not backing up. And as a matter of fact, this is Jimmy McGrath on the left here, right?
Yes.
And he doesn't have a weapon on him, does he?
Not
And he's not engaging you, is he?
stepping forward.
He's stepping forward,
They all stepped forward.
but he doesn't have a weapon on him, does he?
Not that I saw, no.
And it would be unfair for somebody who doesn't have a weapon to be stabbed by somebody who does, right?
I didn't try to stab anybody.
But you stabbed him, didn't you?
Yes.
You turned around and stabbed Jimmy McGrath in his chest.
No.
So you didn't stab him?
I didn't see it happen. I didn't feel me stab. I didn't go up to him and stab him.
Are you saying it was somebody else that stabbed Jimmy McGrath?
I was the only one with a knife.
Correct. You were the only one with the knife. And you turned around and you stabbed Jimmy McGrath in the chest, and then you left, right?
No.
Good morning, Mr. Valle.
Mhm.
I'm going to remind you again, you've got to keep your voice up. You are soft-spoken. We are competing with the fans, but everybody's got to hear you, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday when we were here and we left off, I believe you had taken us to the front lawn of 43 Laurel Glen Drive. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you were describing for us the scene there on that front lawn as you and Mr. De Silva walked up to a group of individuals that had come out of the house. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe that you had told us just shortly before we dispersed for the day that you thought there were about 10 people facing you and about 10 people facing Mr. De Silva. Do you recall that?
Yes, but I'd say it was around 50 kids altogether.
50 kids all together?
Yes.
Were you counting them? How can you be sure that there were 50 kids?
I wasn't able to see behind them because there were so many people.
It felt to you like there were 50 kids,
Yes.
but you weren't counting 50 kids.
No.
Do you recall how many kids? Do you recall yesterday you had described for us that there were essentially two groups that started to form, one that was dealing more with Mr. De Silva and one that was dealing more with you?
Yes.
And how far away were you from Mr. De Silva at that point?
Once the two groups started forming, it was hard to say how far Tyler was from me. I want to say 5-6 feet.
Okay. And you had described that he was trying to have some sort of a conversation with somebody that he was dealing with. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Were you trying to have a conversation with anybody? What were you doing at that point?
Yes. I was trying to have a conversation with Ryan Hines.
Ryan Hines was one of the people that was facing you?
Yes.
How many other people do you remember that you were dealing with in the group that was facing you?
After they separated into two groups, I want to say there was around 25 to 20 people just on me.
And where were they positioned?
At first, they were just in front. And then once they made the two separate groups, they were on both sides and in front of me.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes, thank you.
And I put back up there for us State's Exhibit 52 behind you on the easel. I'm going to hand you a pointer and drop it. Where do you recall standing as this group starts to form around you?
I want to say around this area.
Did you see anybody around the red bush?
There was people everywhere.
Could you see anybody moving around behind the red bush?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. When you described being surrounded by this group that's facing you, were there some kids that were dealing with you more directly than the larger group?
Once they separated us into two groups, everyone was saying stuff.
You've described interacting with Ryan Hines.
Yes.
Was he separate from the larger group in some way that you were dealing directly with him? Tell us how that worked.
He was just the person that I was talking to. There was people shoulder to shoulder with him, right next to him, on my sides. But he was the one that I started talking to directly.
Was he closest to you?
They were all the same distance from me.
How far away from you were they?
Not even a foot.
That close to you?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd ask the witness to demonstrate with me what he was experiencing at that point.
If the witness is comfortable demonstrating, that's fine. Just please keep it in the well. Thank you.
Will you come down here, Mr. Valle, please?
Please, if there's going to be any statements, just make sure that you're keeping your voice up so the microphones can catch your statements. Thank you.
If I'm you, where is Ryan Hines?
Right here.
And is Ryan Hines as the same size as you?
At the time, I was a very small kid. I grew a lot since then.
And you're Ryan Hines. What is he doing?
First, we're just talking.
At some point, does he do something else?
Yes.
What?
After he starts yelling, I stuck my hand out as I was backing up from everybody, and he smacks my hand out.
Where were the other people that you've said were around him?
To my sides, in front of me, everywhere.
What did you do when he smacked your hand down?
I started slowly backing up even before that, and I continued to try and back up.
Take a stand, please. As you began to try to back up, what happened at that point?
I got hit.
Where did you get hit?
It was the side of my head, I want to say, but I couldn't really tell where.
And when you say it was the side of your head, could you tell which side?
I only found out after.
And how were you feeling at that point?
Everything just went black.
When you say everything went black, what's the next thing that you remember?
My face was in the ground.
Could you see where Tyler De Silva was? What could you see?
Just the ground. And people were just stomping and kicking and punching everywhere.
Did you have the knife in your hand at that point?
No,
Where was the knife?
it was in my pocket.
Could you see any way to escape?
No.
Did you try to get up?
Yeah.
Could you get up?
No.
Why not?
There was just so many people hitting me and just everywhere.
What could you hear?
They were yelling and it was so weird. They were just yelling like, I can't even describe it.
Did you hear anyone say, "Yes, sir"?
I heard a whole bunch of things I can't.
Could you hear anything from Mr. De Silva?
No.
Could you see the vehicle that you had arrived in, Jack Snyder's car?
No.
Could you see any way to make an escape from your position? Where were the other people that were kicking you, as you've described it?
All around me, on top of me, behind me.
Could you see who was on top of you?
No.
Could you tell what the person or persons that were on top of you were doing?
Hitting me.
Where were they hitting you?
My head, the back of my head. Kicking like the front of my face, my ribs, everywhere.
Did you get the sense that they were going to let you up and let you go?
No.
What did you do at that point?
I went to cover my head in like a fetal position.
Did that seem to have any effect? What did you hope would happen if you went into the fetal position?
That they would stop.
Did they stop?
They did not.
Put us there on that lawn with you in the fetal position. What were you feeling?
Hopeless, scared, terrified,
Why hopeless?
because they just weren't stopping.
How were you feeling physically?
Hurt,
What hurt?
everything.
Did you lose consciousness?
After the first hit, yeah.
What happened next?
As I was in the fetal position, covering the sides of my head and the top of my head with my forehead into the dirt, I was almost like hunched over, and I reached in my pocket and grabbed the knife.
What were you thinking when your hand touched that knife?
It felt like the only thing that would help me.
What were you seeing at that point around you?
My face was in the dirt. I couldn't really see. I just felt nothing changed.
Could you see Tyler Da Silva?
No.
Could you hear Tyler Da Silva?
No.
What could you hear?
Still just the same screaming. That's it.
Did the group give any indication that they were going to stop or let you up?
No.
What happened next?
After I took the knife out of my pocket, I started waving and just stabbing in every direction, just flailing my arm around.
Could you tell if you'd hit anything? Did that seem to have any effect on the attack?
No, it made me more scared.
Why did it make you more scared?
Because it didn't change what they were doing, and it didn't stop them from doing anything.
Were they still kicking you?
Yeah.
Was someone still on top of you?
Yeah, there were so many people on top of me.
Were you able to get up at that point?
No.
What happened next?
I kept flailing my arm around, just trying to get them away from me.
Were you aiming for anyone?
No.
Were you aiming for Ryan Hines?
No.
You weren't trying to kill Ryan Hines?
No.
What about Tommy Connery? You stabbed him 4 times in the leg. What were you trying to do to Tommy Connery?
Get them away from me.
Did there come a time when it was just you and Ryan Hines fighting one-on-one?
No.
Did there come a time when Tommy Connery separated you from Ryan Hines and was just there with you one-on-one, standing up?
No.
Where were you the entire time you were flailing? How were you feeling while you were flailing around with that knife?
More scared than before. Terrified. Just, it didn't make them stop even though I was flailing around a knife.
Could you tell how many people were around you at that point?
No.
What happened next?
Some flashes, but I just remember getting shoved into the car.
Did there come a point where you were able to stand up? How did you get shoved to the car?
I remember while I was in the fetal position and like flailing my arm around, I like rolled on the back of my heels and tried to jump backwards.
Can you show us what you're talking about? You come down here for the jurors.
Yeah. So I was this,
Okay.
and I tried to get to my heels to like push myself backwards.
What happened?
It didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
There was people behind me, and there was nowhere to move.
Were there people over top of you?
Yeah,
What do you remember that being like?
chaotic and scared.
Take the stand again, please. So there came a time when you were able to stand up. Do you recall that?
No, I just remember somehow I got thrown into the car.
You got thrown into the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, could you see Tyler Da Silva at that point?
At one point, when I was at the car, I looked over and I saw Tyler Da Silva.
And what did you see Tyler Da Silva doing?
He was also on the ground getting beat on.
Could you tell how many people were beating him while he was on the ground?
I can't give a number.
And do you recall how many people were around you when you got shoved into the car, as you've described it?
As soon as I looked back, the first thing I was looking for was Tyler.
Okay. Did you see any of the people that had just been attacking you?
Yeah,
Where were they?
right on the edge of the lawn on the curb, somewhere on the street going back.
Did you see Ryan Hines anywhere?
No,
Did you know Tommy Connery before this?
no,
Did you know Ryan Hines before this?
no,
Did you know Faison Teal before this?
no,
Did you know Jimmy McGrath before this?
no.
You say you remember getting shoved to the car. Did you make it to the car eventually?
Yeah.
And what did you do when you were at the car?
As soon as I looked for Tyler, and I saw him getting beat on,
What was Jack Snyder doing?
nothing.
Did he say anything when you went to the car?
I didn't even open the car door all the way.
Why didn't you just get in that car and leave?
I saw my best friend, and somebody that I loved. Nobody was helping him.
How did you feel?
I was still terrified. But I couldn't just let him be there alone. I felt like I had to save him.
Did you think that Jack Snyder was going to wait for you if you went back in there?
Objection as to what Jack Snyder was going to do.
Sustained.
Did you have any indication that Jack Snyder was going to wait for you?
No.
You didn't open that door at that point and take out that knife and then go back and stab those 4 kids.
No.
You already had that knife when you'd been attacked on the lawn the first time.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Positive.
You weren't upset that you had been attacked and went back to get that knife? Had you known about that knife being in the car prior to that evening?
No.
When you got back to that car, you didn't get back into the car, right? Why didn't you just go running off back down the street, back down Farmhouse Lane towards, or down Laurel Glen towards Farmhouse?
I just couldn't live town.
Why not?
He was my best friend. I looked at him like his brother. Like, what kind of man would I to just leave him there?
What did you worry might happen to him if you left him?
If he was in the same situation as me, I thought it was.
I'm going to object. Calls for speculation as to what would happen to Tyler.
Sustained.
What were you worried about if you left and ran down to the end of Laurel Glen and Farmhouse Lane?
That Tyler wouldn't have made it out of there.
What happened next?
I found myself right on the edge of the grass and the curb.
How did you get there?
I just remember being there. I think I ran over.
What did you see when you got there?
Just another wall of people.
Did you see Tyler De Silva?
No.
Did you cross paths with Tyler De Silva?
Yeah.
You say another wall of people. Did you see Mr. Hines, who had been on top of you before?
I think so.
Did you recognize any other people that you saw there?
I saw a lot of people I didn't recognize, but I saw Matt Lockovich.
How did you know Matt Lockovich?
I've seen him at other parties before.
Did you go to school with Matt Lockovich?
I did not.
Do you know if he was older or younger than you or the same age?
I believe we were the same age.
Are you and Matt Lockovich the same size?
No. He was way bigger than me.
How did you feel at that moment?
Felt like the same thing was going to happen again.
Why didn't you just turn around and run back to the car?
There was no way I was going to be able to turn my back on that many people.
Why not?
I was just, there was no way to turn around without them really about to hit me or knock me down or something.
Did they give any indication that they were backing off?
No.
Did they start to back away from you as you stepped onto the lawn?
No, they stepped closer.
Where did you see people?
It was almost like a U, but wider.
Like a horseshoe?
Yeah.
Were there people to your right?
Yeah.
Were there people in front of you?
Yeah.
Did they give you any indication that they were just going to let you go?
No.
What did they do?
They stepped closer, and then I got hit.
You got hit?
Yeah.
Who hit you?
Came from the left side. I don't know exactly who hit me.
Where did they hit you?
In the right side of my head.
What did they hit you with?
I don't know. I think their hand.
How many people?
I don't know. As soon as they hit me, I fell, and I swung.
You told us before that you were wearing slides that night.
Yeah.
Were you still wearing the slides at this point?
No.
What happened to the slides?
They were gone. Just in my socks.
Was it wet on the grass that night?
Yes.
What else do you recall about being hit?
I just remember immediately after I got hit and fell, I swung.
What were you swinging at?
Anything.
What were you aiming for?
Anybody who was coming at me.
Did Matt Lockovich hit you?
I couldn't see who hit me.
Did Jimmy McGrath hit you?
I couldn't see who hit me.
When you swung that knife, did you feel it hit something?
No.
How were you feeling when you swung that knife?
Immediately after I swung, and I had one knee on the ground, I slipped, and I saw behind me.
What did you see behind you?
There was like a little hole, and I tried to jump and run away.
A little hole where?
So I swung, and like I threw my whole body into it, and I slipped on the grass while my knee was down and faced backwards.
You're not asked the witness to come down and demonstrate this again. I think it's a little hard for me to understand what's described.
If the witness feels comfortable doing that, do you feel comfortable getting out of the witness box and demonstrating?
Yeah.
All right. Just again, please make sure to keep your voices up. I want to make sure that we capture any statements on the record.
You've described in your answers an interaction that I find hard to follow. I want you to show us what you mean by swinging, your knee going back. Demonstrate, please, for us what this is.
So, say you're mad about the bitch. Like this, everybody like this, and then you hit me. And I'm like this,
Okay.
and I swung. After I swung, I ended up like this. I was facing backwards.
When you say you're facing backwards, which way are you facing now? Towards the road or towards the house?
Here's the road.
What did you do next?
I was on my hands and knees, and I tried to like jump up.
Did you go to stab anybody else?
No,
Did you go to stab Mr. McGrath?
no.
You went to jump up?
Yeah.
Did something prevent you from being able to jump up, or did you succeed in jumping up?
As soon as I jumped up, I got hit again
Where did you get hit?
on the left side of my head.
Do you know who hit you?
I believe it was Faison too,
Why do you believe it was Faison Teal?
because I remember seeing the big dark colored arm.
What did you do next?
I fell on the pavement
In the street or on the curb?
in the street.
You say you fell on the pavement. What did you feel?
I scraped my hands on the floor,
Where?
on the pavement.
Where did you scrape your hands? The tops, the bottoms, the fingers? Your palms?
Yes.
How are you feeling at that point emotionally?
Scared.
Why?
You know, once I was on the floor again, there's a chance that they could all surround me again.
Could you see Tyler DeSilva?
No.
Could you see the car that Jack Snyder was driving?
At that point, no.
What did you do next?
I tried to lunge myself up again, and then I dove towards the car
Where were the kids that had been in the lawn prior?
in the road now.
Following you?
Yeah.
What happened next?
I got in the car.
Where did you get in the car?
The passenger seat.
Front? Rear?
Front.
Different than the seat you had been in when you went down to the house.
Yes.
Why did you get into the front passenger seat?
I was right there, and I just wanted to get in as quick as possible.
Where was Tyler DeSilva?
At that point, he was not in the car.
Could you see where Tyler DeSilva was?
No.
What did Jack Snyder do?
He tried to drive off.
Without Tyler DeSilva in the car?
Yeah.
How did you feel when Jack Snyder did that?
I screamed and told him to wait.
Did there come a point when Tyler DeSilva got in the car?
Yeah.
Did you have the knife in your hand at this point?
No.
You put it back in your pocket.
No.
What did you do with the knife?
When I scraped my hands on the floor, the knife was on the floor.
The knife was on the floor?
Yes.
You're saying floor. You would agree there is no floor outside where you've been. What do you mean by floor?
The pavement.
Did you see where it went?
No.
Did you try to pick it back up?
No.
Why not?
I just wanted to get to the car.
Did you see Tyler De Silva with the knife when he got into the car?
I didn't really look back.
When Tyler De Silva got into the car, did you see him then?
Yeah,
What did he look like?
his face was destroyed. And he was holding his head in his hands.
Was he bleeding?
Yes,
Where?
all over his face, and it was like dripping down.
What was he doing?
He was holding his head and screaming,
In pain?
and in anger.
Anger at the kids in the yard?
No,
Anger at you?
no,
Anger at who?
Jen.
Can we see Exhibit 60, please? Do we have it? Sorry, I'll grab it. We're going to watch Exhibit 60 here, Mr. Valle. What is it? Can we just see the normal version? Young man, approach here so I can. Mr. Valle, you would agree that that video does not show the initial punch that you've described to the side of your face when the groups were standing up initially, correct?
Yes,
But you did see there at least one fight that's going on the ground, correct?
yes.
That's not you, is it? Who's that?
Tyler De Silva.
What was going on while we see Tyler De Silva being beaten on the ground there before we see you back at the car?
I was getting beat on.
Could you see yourself in that video?
In the beginning, you can see people hitting and attacking, but you can't see me.
Is that the splitting up of the two groups that you've described?
Yes,
One stayed to, as we look at that, the left of the screen, and one went over to the right of the screen?
yes,
And as this video ends, we see a figure that's on the far right of the frame, but we don't see you, correct?
yes.
Where was that figure standing in relation to the U or horseshoe shape that you've described?
On the end.
On the, when you say the end, what do you mean?
On the end of the horseshoe.
Was there somebody to that person's left?
Yes,
Was there somebody across the way from that person behind you?
yes.
Did you know who that person was that was on the far right that we can see there at the end of the frame?
No,
Do you know now that that's a person named Jimmy McGrath?
yeah.
You did not know him that evening. You've described getting back into Jack Snyder's car. Tyler De Silva gets into the car. How are you feeling physically as you're sitting there in the car?
I was in a lot of pain.
Pain where?
My head. And the main thing I was noticing was my ribs.
What happened next? Did Mr. Snyder leave? Did you remain there in that place?
As soon as Tyler jumped in the back of the car, he instantly took off. We started driving.
Did you know where he was going at that point? Did you care where he was going at that point?
No, I just wanted to get out of there.
And where did Jack Snyder drive the car?
He was just driving straight. And then at one point I told him to stop the car.
Why did you tell him to stop the car?
I wanted to check my ribs.
You wanted to check your ribs?
Yeah.
Why couldn't you check your ribs just sitting there in the seat?
Because I wasn't able to stand up and look at my whole body.
Did he stop the car?
Yes.
What did you do?
Opened the door, immediately got out and used the car light, lifted up my shirt.
Used what car light?
As soon as you open the door, the car light turns on. I was facing the car, right in where the door turns, lifted up my shirt, looked at myself, and then jumped back in the car.
I want to be sure we understand this. When you say you're using the car light, do you mean the interior car light or the headlights on the car?
Interior car light.
So you're facing into the interior of the car?
Yes.
And what do you do?
Lift up my shirt and look at myself.
And what did you see?
A whole bunch of bruises, but it felt way worse than what it looked like.
As you're standing there, did you take the knife out of your pocket and throw it into the woods?
I didn't have the knife at that point.
You didn't have the knife at that point.
No.
Where was the knife?
To my understanding, it was on the pavement back over at 43 Laurel Glen.
Did you make a plan to go back and get the knife?
No.
Why not?
I didn't want to go anywhere near that house.
Did Jack Snyder indicate to you that he wanted his knife back?
No.
What happened after you got out of the vehicle and used the interior light to inspect your midsection?
It lasted like a second or two, and I jumped back in the car.
And what happened after you jumped back in the car?
Jack started driving.
Did you know where he was going? How were you feeling at that point?
Still terrified and shocked. And I looked down and I was shaking.
What was Tyler De Silva doing?
He was still screaming at Jack and holding his head.
What was Jack Snyder doing?
Nothing.
Did there come a time when the car stopped again?
Yes.
Did you recognize where you were at that point?
No. I just saw a car I recognized, which was Mackenzie's sister's car.
Who is Mackenzie's sister?
Madison Traficante.
Okay. And where was that you saw her car?
I just remember seeing it in the street.
Was that a street that you recognized from earlier in the evening, or was this somewhere else?
I can't remember. I just remember seeing the car and instantly wanting to get out and go in that car.
And what did Jack Snyder do at that point?
Stop the car and let me out.
And what did Tyler De Silva do at that point?
I didn't turn around. I don't know.
What did you do?
I went over and I got into Madison's car,
Where?
behind the passenger seat.
Who else was in the vehicle when you got in?
Keenan and Dimitri.
Keenan Frasick?
Yes.
Dimitri Arfanis?
Yes.
Will Sinjwald?
No.
Will Sinjwald was one of the people that had come with you earlier in Jack Snyder's car, correct?
Yes.
He wasn't in Jack Snyder's vehicle when you got out of it?
No.
And he wasn't in Madison's car when you got into it?
No.
So in the vehicle at that point, it's just you, Madison, Mackenzie, Keenan, and Dimitri?
Yes.
Was the music on in the car?
Yes.
Were you texting in the group chat at that point?
No.
What was Dmitry Arfanis doing?
I didn't look over.
And what was Keenan Frasick doing?
As soon as I got in the car and it started driving, he was looking at me.
He was looking at you?
Yes.
What were you doing?
Holding my head.
What were you thinking?
I was just in shock. Scared. I didn't really know what to think.
Did you call the cops?
No.
Why not?
I was just terrified. I didn't even know what to do. Or really what even happened.
And where did the car go?
Started driving to Keenan Frasick's house.
What happened there?
He and Dimitri got out.
He and Dmitry both got out at Keenan's house?
Yes.
So now it's just you, Mackenzie, and Madison in the car?
Yes.
And what's going on in the car at that point?
Nothing. I knew my girlfriend was still upset. Didn't want to talk or anything.
And what were you doing?
Holding my head and looking at myself. I was just shaking and I didn't even know what to do.
Where did the car go then?
We drove to my house in Milford.
How long did that take?
I can't remember.
Did there come a time when you arrived at home?
Yes.
What did you do then?
Before I opened my car door and I asked Mackenzie to talk to her.
Would she talk to you?
No.
What did you do?
I just walked up to my house.
Was anybody home?
Yes.
Who?
My mom and my little brother.
And what were they doing?
They were packing to go to Florida.
What was their reaction when they saw you?
My mom just started screaming and crying. My brother was just like holding his mouth open.
Did you explain how you'd been injured?
At that point, I didn't really know what to say. I couldn't even understand really what had happened, detail for detail. I remember telling her that I got attacked by a whole bunch of people. She just kept screaming and crying.
What did you do then?
Started crying. And then I remember going upstairs to the bathroom and just washing myself off.
What time was this?
I don't really know.
Did you go to sleep?
No.
What did you do?
It was just, my mom was panicking. And she asked me if I wanted to come to Florida with her.
What did you do at that point?
I said yes.
Why?
Just wanted to be close to my mom.
Did you go to sleep at some point?
No.
Why not?
I couldn't sleep.
What made it so that you couldn't sleep?
Everything. The way I was feeling, mentally and physically, just, there was no way I was going to be able to sleep.
What did you do?
Everything was so fast. I think I packed like a little backpack, and then we left.
Okay. While you were packing, did anyone try to contact you?
Yes.
Who?
Mackenzie, my girlfriend at the time.
She sent you some texts.
Yes.
We saw those texts here, those exhibits.
Yes.
How did it make you feel when you read those texts as they were coming in from Mackenzie?
It just reminded me how I felt at the time when she was texting me and stuff.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 97. Well, I'm going to try. Okay. State's Exhibit 97. Do you remember those texts coming in?
Yeah.
And she writes, "Are you serious? I hate you. Someone just called me and said you stabbed someone. You just ruined everything, Lito. Literally ruined everything for me. Answer the M phone. IDK what to do. Everyone is texting me." I want you to read for us. What did you write back?
I didn't do anything. I wasn't there. Stop texting anyone. Stop answering.
I'll show you State's Exhibit 98. She says, "Lito, everyone knows who you are. Everyone knows you're my boyfriend. What do you say?"
I know.
"Lito, everyone's texting me. What do you say?"
Stop answering. What happened?
"Don't talk to me." What do you say?
Okay, stop answering anyone.
She says, "You f***ed up, Lito." What do you say?
How? I wasn't there.
"If my parents find out," in State's Exhibit 99, "stop saying that." You say what?
Okay, stop texting, please, Kens.
"I'm not texting anyone." What do you say?
Don't text me. I'm going to Florida.
She says, "They're texting me. When? Lito, I need you to answer me, please." What do you say?
What, Kens?
And she says, "I'm so scared. What's going on?" In State's Exhibit 100, "I'm shaking," she says. "Can you please tell me? I won't tell anyone, I swear." What do you say?
I can't text anything.
She says, "I'm so scared," and you say what?
I wasn't there.
She says, "What's happening?" And what do you say?
No, I wasn't there.
She says, "I'm so scared, Lito." "What's happening? Please answer me." What do you say?
Nothing is happening.
State's Exhibit 101, she says, "Can you please call me? Can you call me, please? When I get home." And you say what?
Yes.
She says, "Lito, his sister just texted me. I'm so scared. I don't want to look." What do you say?
What did she say? Swipe it.
She says, "IDK, I'm so scared." And what do you say?
Don't answer anyone.
How fast were those texts going back and forth?
One right after another.
Were some of them coming in before you could finish the other one?
Yeah.
What were you thinking while you're writing those texts?
Overwhelmed and shocked. I just didn't want her to worry.
Were you thinking you could concoct some sort of a story that no one would know you'd been there?
I'm gonna object. It's leading.
Sustained.
You knew you had been there, did you not?
Yeah.
Or objection. It's leading.
Sustained.
Has to be stricken.
Court will strike the answer. Jury, please remove it from your notes.
Did you expect her to believe that you had not been there?
Objection. That calls for speculation as to what she would believe.
Let me hear the question again.
Did you expect her to believe that you had not been there?
Overrule, it goes to his expectations. You can answer.
No. I knew she knew I was there because she was with me.
Why did you say those things to her in that text?
Panicking, and I just didn't want her to worry at all.
At that point, did you think that someone had died?
No.
What did you do after this chain of texts?
I remember trying to call Tyler.
Tyler De Silva? Why did you try to call Tyler De Silva?
See if he was okay, what was going on. Called him 3 times, but he never answered.
Have you spoken to Tyler De Silva since that night? What did you do next?
Went with my mom, we got in the car and we drove to the airport.
Where did you go?
Florida.
Was that the next day, May 15th?
Yes.
What did you do when you got to Florida?
We were getting out of the airport and we were going to a car rental. And that's when I found out what had happened.
When you say what had happened, what did you find out?
Like the injuries and stuff.
What did you find out?
That somebody died.
How did you feel when you learned that?
I kept saying, no way. Like, that's not possible.
What did you do next?
I went over to my mom and I told her.
Did you stay in Florida?
Yeah,
How long?
like a day maybe?
When did you return to Connecticut?
Not sure, a day or 2.
And did there come a time when you were contacted by the police?
My parents were. Not me.
And did you learn that the police were interested in your parents or interested in you?
And me.
And what did you learn about why they had contacted you?
That somebody had passed away.
Did you learn at some point that they had an arrest warrant for you?
Yeah.
How soon after you got back to Connecticut did you learn that?
I can't remember. It seemed like 4 days or something. May have been shorter. I can't really remember.
When you learned that they had an arrest warrant for you, what did you do?
At the time when it came out, I was sleeping.
What time was that?
Middle of the day.
And what did you do at that point?
I woke up and I talked to my father.
Did you make arrangements to turn yourself in?
Yeah.
Did you go and turn yourself in?
Yeah.
Just one try.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. De Silva, I'm going to show you some exhibits that have already been entered. There's been testimony that these are from May 18th, when you turned yourself in. Do you remember what time you went down to the Shelby PD to turn yourself in?
I remember it being really late at night.
Did you go by yourself?
No,
Who was with you?
my father.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 34. Do you remember this photograph being taken?
Yeah.
Where was that taken?
I believe it was at the show and police department.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 35. Was that taken at the same time?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 36. That photograph also taken at the same time?
Yes.
Can you see in there your eye, your what appears to be your left eye?
Yeah.
And does that accurately reflect the injuries that you had at that point?
At that point, yeah.
And I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 37. Is that the back of your head?
Yeah.
State's Exhibit 38. The left side of the back of your head.
Yeah.
And where do you recall getting hit that evening when you were first encountering the people on the lawn?
The back of my head.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 39. Is that your right arm inside near the elbow?
Yeah.
Do you recall how you got these 1, 2, 3 scratches and some bruising?
No.
Did you have that before you were on the lawn that night?
No.
I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 40. Is that your right hand?
Yeah.
And how did you get this injury to the heel of your right hand?
I was trying to run back to the car. I got hit and my hand slid on the pavement.
This is State's Exhibit 41. How did you get this injury on the heel of your left hand?
The same as the one on my right hand.
Are you left-handed or right-handed, sir?
Right-handed.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 42. Is that the top of your right hand?
Yes.
And State's Exhibit 43, is that the top of your left hand?
Yes.
And how did you feel when he threw that knife to you?
Confused.
And what did you do with the knife?
Put it in my pocket.
Do you remember which pocket?
My right pocket.
And did you have that knife on you when Mr. Rich sprayed you with the WD-40?
Yes.
Did you at any point go into the bushes along the road there?
No.
You remained on the curb?
Yes.
Could you see where Mr. Snyder drove off to?
I just saw the car take off like straight.
Did it go out of your field of vision?
Yeah, right as he sped off, I heard the kids screaming and running down the road, so I turned my attention to that.
And did there come a point in time when Mr. Snyder returned?
Yes.
And what happened when Mr. Snyder returned?
All the kids that ran down had already left. He came back and everybody got out of the car.
Other than the interaction with Mr. Rich, did you have an interaction with any of the other Shelton kids while you were down there on the side of the road?
Yes.
Who else was that?
Ricky Fiola.
And what was that interaction like?
He saw Tyler Rich spray me with the WD-40 and he came up to me.
Did he do anything to you?
Just talk to me and, like, I guess make me feel better about the situation.
When the vehicle came back, did Mr. Snyder park the car?
Yes.
Can you show us on Exhibit 1 behind you where he parked the car? May the record reflect he has indicated, the witness has indicated on Exhibit 1 that Mr. Snyder parked the car in front of what's previously been identified as 36 Laurel Glen Drive.
Or to go ahead and note that for the record. Thank you.
What did Mr. De Silva do at that point?
Me and Jack started inspecting the car.
And what did you do at that point?
I was still rubbing my eye.
What did the other occupants of the vehicle do at that point, if anything?
Mackenzie was still sitting in the same spot she was previously. I can't remember where Keenan and Dimitri were. I believe they were also standing by her.
Were you upset at that point?
Yeah.
What were you upset about?
And I got sprayed with WD-40 for no reason.
Were you angry?
No, more confused on why he did it.
Did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Yes.
How did you know Tyler Rich prior to that?
Same as all the other kids I knew from Shelton. Seen him at parties, drank with them before.
But you'd never been to that house before.
No.
Did you know that that was Tyler Rich's house?
No.
Were you still scared at that point?
Yeah.
Were you more scared or more confused?
More confused.
What did you do next?
I walked over to where my girlfriend was sitting.
Where was she sitting?
The same spot at the end of the road on the curb.
And what was her demeanor like?
She was really upset.
Did you, at some point, go over to inspect the car?
No.
What did you do next?
I asked Mackenzie for a ride home from her sister.
And was her sister present?
No.
And what did you do after you asked her for a ride home with her sister?
Started waiting there
Where were you waiting?
by my girlfriend and by the car.
Can you point out to us on the exhibit where that was? Had she remained in the same position during the course of these events at the end of the road that you've been describing to us?
Yes.
And what was she doing while she was waiting on the curb? Could you see?
She had her head down, like in between her legs, looking at her phone.
And what happened next?
Tyler and Jack started talking about going back.
Where were you at that point?
Close enough to hear them.
How far away?
Want to say 5 feet?
Away from them?
Yes.
And what happened next?
Tyler started saying,
Objection calls for hearsay.
Well, the answer seems as though it's providing hearsay, so I would know. The question was what happened next. Sustain the objection to the extent that the witness is going to respond with what someone stated.
Your Honor, may I remind the witness that he can't tell us? So, again, listen to the nature of my question, okay? You can't tell us what somebody else has said, okay? So, you were telling us what was happening at that point, okay? Can you tell us what you saw Mr. Snyder do?
talk to Tyler De Silva.
Okay? And what was Mr. Snyder's demeanor like when he was talking to Mr. De Silva?
Agreeing with him.
Did he appear excited or upset or calm?
Couldn't really tell.
And Mr. De Silva, what did his demeanor appear like to you?
Confident.
I'm sorry?
Confident.
He appeared confident?
Yeah.
Mr. Valle, I don't mean to be rude, but do you understand the word demeanor?
Yeah.
How did his face appear?
He didn't really seem too worried.
Did Mr. Snyder appear not too worried as well?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, did they get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Who got into the vehicle first?
Jack.
And did he get into the driver's side?
Yes.
And did Mr. De Silva get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Where did he get into the vehicle?
Passenger.
And did you ultimately get back into the vehicle?
Yes.
Why did you get back into that vehicle?
I was asked to by Tyler.
Objection. I would ask that it be stricken.
All right, so the jury, if you wrote that down, please remove it from your notepads. Court is striking leave last response concerning he was asked by someone else, okay? So that does not qualify or classify as evidence in this case, all right? Thank you.
When you got back into that vehicle, what were you thinking?
I trusted my best friend that everything was going to be okay and we were just going to go and make peace.
Did you understand that there was some plan to go and make peace in this situation?
I'm going to object. That's leading.
Sustained.
You've just said that you trusted your friend to make peace.
Yes.
Objection. He did not say that. So I would ask that it be stricken. This is leading.
All right, so I will strike the response, which was yes, sustaining the objection. Thank you.
You got back into that vehicle last.
Yes.
Where did you get back into that vehicle?
Behind the driver.
Behind the driver?
Yes.
And did you still have the knife on you?
Yes.
Was it open?
No.
Where was it?
Still in my pocket.
Still in your right pocket?
Yes.
Did you have your hand in the pocket?
No.
Were you scared to get back in that car?
A little bit.
Where did you think the car was going to go?
Back down to the house.
Did you think that was a good idea?
At the time, few interactions had already been peaceful here and there, so it didn't seem like the worst idea in the world at the time.
You understood that Ms. Trafficante was not going to be getting back in that car?
Yes.
Did you think it was a good idea to leave her there?
Yes.
Why?
There was other people with her, and her sister was on the way.
Were you upset or angry as you got into that car?
I'm going to object. It's asked and answered.
At the time that he got into the car, I don't believe that we've been to that location yet, so I'll overrule it.
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. When you got back into that car, were you upset or angry?
No.
Not about your eyes being sprayed with WD-40?
No.
And did Jack Snyder drive the car back to 43 Laurel Glen Drive?
He did.
What was that drive there like?
Nobody said anything.
Was the music on?
No.
Was it a fast drive?
I can't remember.
And did Jack Snyder ultimately stop his car at the same house as before?
Yes.
Did you see any people in the yard?
Yes.
How many?
At first, they were far back in the yard, so I want to say 10.
You say at first they were far back in the yard. Were there any on the curb or near the street?
No.
And you could see 10 people in the yard?
Well, yeah.
Did you recognize any of those people?
No.
Did they remain where they were?
Yes.
What did Tyler Da Silva do when the car stopped?
He opened his door and got out.
What did Jack Snyder do when the car stopped?
Nothing.
Where did Tyler Da Silva go when he got out of the car?
As soon as he got out, he started walking onto the lawn.
Walking?
Yes.
Not running?
No.
Did you stay in the car?
No.
What did you do?
As soon as Tyler got out, I got out.
Why?
It's my friend. I knew a couple people there. I was just going to help ease the situation, I guess.
Where was the knife?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hand on it?
No.
Where did Tyler Da Silva go as you were following him out of the car?
We started walking up the yard.
May I approach Your Honor? I'm on the easel Estates Exhibit 52. I'd ask you to use that pointer that you have and show us where you saw the initial 10 kids in the yard.
It's kind of out of the frame.
Out of the frame?
Yeah.
But you could see them from where the car parked?
Yeah.
Where did Jack Snyder park the car? When you got out of the vehicle, was there anything blocking your path to the yard?
I got out from this side, so no.
You got out from the driver's side?
Yeah.
And walked around the car?
Yeah.
So when you got out of the car, did you lose sight of Mr. Da Silva?
For a second or two.
So you came following behind him?
Yeah.
And where did Mr. Da Silva go when he got out of the car?
We started walking up the yard.
Can you show us his path of travel?
We got out right here. There was a car here, so we went.
And he went onto the grass?
Yes.
And where did he go once he got on the grass, if anywhere?
I met him around this area, and we started to walk up, and we were approached by somebody right here.
Did you get up to where the red bush is?
No.
Did you get up to where the black truck is?
No.
Did you get any further than where the tree is in the middle of Exhibit 52?
Yes.
Where did you get up to?
Probably around right here.
And so you got just past where the tree is?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
After we were approached by the first person, which was a girl, she moved out of the way, and then we were approached by Tyler Rich and a whole bunch of other people.
And how many people were you approached by that included Tyler Rich?
At first, they were all in front of us. I'd say it was about 30 people spread out in a line almost.
Okay. And when you met Mr. Da Silva on the grass as you came around the car, did he indicate to you in any way that he was surprised that you had followed him?
No.
Did he indicate in any way to you that he did not want you to follow him?
No.
You told us that you recognized Tyler Rich as one of the people that had approached you.
Yes.
Did you recognize anyone else?
No.
Did the people, you've described them as being in sort of a line, did they stay in one area?
No.
What did they do?
Shortly after we were both in our own conversations, they started to surround us.
And you say you were both in your own conversations. Do you mean Mr. Da Silva and yourself?
Yeah.
How close were you standing to Mr. Da Silva when you were confronted by these other folks?
At first, we were right next to each other.
You say at first. Did there come a time when you got separated?
Yeah.
And so who or how many people was Mr. Da Silva engaged with?
At first, we were all talking to the same amount of people. And then after a little while, when I looked to my left, there was a wall of people blocking me from Tyler.
Okay. Let's break it down a little bit. You've said at first you could see Mr. Da Silva was talking to the same amount of people as you were.
Yeah.
How many people was Mr. De Silva talking to?
Directly 10. There was a lot of kids around though.
And was he talking to any one person in particular?
Yes.
Who was that, if you know?
All of it.
Okay. Were there other people with Mr. Rich?
Yes.
How close were they standing to Mr. Rich?
Side by side.
You described them as forming a wall.
Yeah.
And how many people were you engaged with at that point?
Before or after they surrounded me?
Let's take it frame by frame. You've described Mr. De Silva talking with a group of people, and you said you were talking with a number of people as well. At that point, how many people were you engaged with?
I was directly talking to about 4 to 5 people.
Okay. And how many people, were there people behind them?
Right next to them.
Were they shoulder to shoulder?
Yeah.
And where were these people positioned, if you can show us on the exhibit there?
I was about right here. And they were right here. And right here.
And did they stay just in front of you?
No.
What did they do?
They started to surround me.
Did you have, how were you wearing your shirt at this point?
Normally?
Did you ever at any point pull it up over your head?
No.
Where was the knife at this point?
In my pocket.
Did you have your hands in your pockets?
No.
How were you feeling at this point?
Nervous.
Why were you feeling nervous?
Because there was a lot of people just surrounding me.
May 14th of 2022, you go to Lazy Brook Road for a party at Madigan Lifer's house, correct?
Yes.
That's you to the right there in the Ole Miss football shirt,
Yes.
the light blue shirt,
Yes.
black pants, with the helmet on, right?
Yes.
That's you. You said that you got there around what time?
I want to say around 9 or 10.
9 or 10. You were there for, and you testified on direct examination, you were there for about an hour and a half, correct?
Yeah.
People arrived at some point after an hour and a half, correct?
Yeah.
Ryan Hines and Griffin Marcinzik, you didn't know them, right?
No.
But those are the two that showed up at Lazy Brook Road at that point, right?
Yeah.
And when they got to Lazy Brook Road, Jack, Tyler, and yourself confronted those two, right?
When I first got there, no.
Because Madigan Lifer didn't want anybody else in her house. So you were under the assumption that if they left, you guys could stay, right?
No, she asked everybody by the door.
I'm gonna move to strike as non-responsive as to what Madigan Lifer said.
Court is going to sustain the objection. I am going to go ahead and strike everything after the response no as unresponsive and hearsay. Thank you.
So at some point in time, let me ask you this. How long was Ryan and Griffin at Lazy Brook before you, Jack, and Tyler got involved with them?
I want to say a couple of minutes.
A couple minutes, right? So they show up. Ryan walks down with this beer in his hand, right? And at some point you talk to Ryan and Griffin with Jack and Tyler, right?
Yes.
And at some point in time, you say to them, you can come in if you give me some beer, right?
I was the only one who said that.
You're the only one that said that.
Yes.
And Jack and Ryan gave you a beer, right?
He did not.
And at some point in time, it got heated between the three of you and Griffin and Ryan, right?
Just between Jack and Ryan.
And at some point in time, that went outside, right?
Yes.
So within the span of a few minutes, it went from give me a beer to going outside into the driveway, right?
Yes.
Okay. And out in the driveway, there was a group of people surrounding the area, right, from the party.
Scattered, yes.
right? And you said, I think you said on direct examination, there were about 30 people at this party? You remember saying that?
Inside, I think there was more.
Okay, so there was 30 people inside, and then there was maybe 20 outside?
No, there was probably like 10 people
There
outside,
was only 10 people outside. 10 people including you, or 10 people excluding you?
including me.
Okay, and who was outside?
At the time, I didn't really like look at faces.
Right, you weren't paying attention, right?
Yeah.
You just kind of scan the area, and you say, oh, there's about 10 people here, right?
No, I didn't really look around to see how
You
many.
you have no clue who's outside then at that point. That's what you're telling us?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know if there were girls outside or boys outside at that point, right?
No.
You just know that there were bodies. You weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And when you go outside, at some point there's an argument going on between Ryan and Jack, right?
Yeah.
And you're witnessing it.
Yeah.
And you're outside, in fact, with this helmet on at the time, are you not?
Yes.
And when you're outside and you're looking at this argument that is going on between Jack and Ryan, at some point in time they square up, right?
Yes.
And they square up because they're going to fight for the beer, right? Jack had taken the beer from him at that point,
Yeah.
right? And he wanted his beer back. Ryan wanted his beer back.
Yes.
And when they square up, Ryan's standing squared up to Jack. Jack's across from Ryan, right?
Yes.
And to Jack's back left is Tyler De Silva, correct?
Yes.
And behind Ryan is you, right?
Off to the side, yeah.
Right? And you're wearing that helmet at that point, right?
Yes.
And you testified on direct examination. They squared off. Hines stepped on my foot and I pushed him. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
You pushed him.
Yes.
I want to show you States Exhibits 58. Stop right there. So this person right here to the left in the blue shirt. Who's that?
Tyler De Silva?
Can I get this? So this person right here is who?
Tyler De Silva.
And this person in the red is who?
Jack Snyder.
So right now you're behind. We can't see you, but you're right behind Brian Hines, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Can you play it, please? Stop. Is that you pushing Ryan Hines in the head?
That's me pushing Ryan Hines, yes.
So that right there, that's a push, not a punch. That's what you're testifying. That's what you want these ladies and gentlemen to believe, that was a push, not a punch.
Yes, I remember pushing him.
Can you play the fast version, please? We'll stop it there. Can you put the volume on? So right there, what you want these ladies and gentlemen to believe is that you just pushed Ryan in his head, not punched him. That's what you're telling them.
I'm saying that I remember pushing him.
But the video would contradict what you want these ladies and gentlemen to believe at this point, correct?
I remember pushing him.
But the video, that's not responsive to my question. The video does not corroborate what you just told these ladies and gentlemen of the jury, correct?
I just remember pushing him.
Non-responsive. Did you push him in the head or did you punch him in the head? You remember pushing him, but does the video show you pushing or punching him? That's my question.
I pushed him.
What does the video show?
Me pushing him?
So you want these ladies and gentlemen to believe that what just happened there is a push, not a punch, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you also told these ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at some point during this fight, you go over and you try to get Ryan off of Jack, right? Because at that point the fight was on, and Ryan tackles Jack, right?
Yes.
And your testimony was that at some point, Tyler De Silva gets in and does the same thing, right?
Yes.
That's what you remember, right?
Yes.
But isn't it true that Tyler jumps in and also punches Ryan when he's on the ground?
I think so. I don't remember that happening.
Isn't it also true that at some point in time towards the end of this fight, you use the helmet that's on your head and you slam it into Ryan's head?
That's not true, no.
That's not true? Is that not what you remember? Or is that what you're saying is that the video is false?
I never did that.
You never did that? Okay. So let's play the rest of this video and then we'll go to the slow-mo. That's you right there in the helmet back there, right? Rewind it a tick. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. That's you right there, right?
Yes.
And you have a helmet on, right?
I had the helmet on a lot at the time.
Play it. Okay. Now we'll play the slow motion. Now you just saw the helmet slam down on Ryan, right? And you heard the crack of the helmet on Ryan's head?
I didn't slam the helmet down on him at all.
So you want these ladies and gentlemen to believe that you did not slam the helmet into Ryan's head when he was on the ground?
Yes.
Is that what you remember, or are you saying the video is false?
I don't really see that in the video.
Okay, let's play the slow-mo version. So here's the punch, or what you're saying is push. There you are here with the helmet, right? And here's you right in here. Ready? Slam. That's you right there, slamming the helmet into Ryan's head, right?
I never slammed him with the helmet.
Okay, so the video's alive. That's what you're saying. So counsel asked you before if you ever had carried a weapon before May 14th of 2022. Isn't it true that you used the helmet as a weapon at Lazy Brook that night?
No.